At exactly 10:10 p.m., every clock in the city stopped. Not slowed, not broken, stopped. In London, people noticed it almost instantly. Phones froze, watches locked in place. Digital displays glitched and held the same numbers. 10:10, no ticking, no movement. Just time paused. Ethan was in his apartment when it happened. He had just looked at his phone. 10:10 p.m. Then it didn't change. He waited. A second. Two. Nothing. The silence felt heavier than it should. He walked to the window. Outside, the city looked normal at first glance. Cars on the road, lights glowing, people on the sidewalks. But something was wrong. No one was moving. Every person stood frozen mid-step. Every car paused in place. Even the flicker of lights had stopped. Ethan stepped back slowly. "This isn't real," he whispered. No answer. Because there was no sound. Not even his own breath echoed. It was like the world had been muted. He moved toward the door and opened it. The hallway was the same. Still. Empty. Frozen. Except for one thing. At the far end, someone was walking. Slowly. Normally. Like time still belonged to them. Ethan's heart started pounding. "Hey," he called out. No response. The figure kept walking. Step by step. Closer. Ethan couldn't see the face clearly. The lights didn't seem to reach it properly. But something about the movement felt wrong. Too smooth. Too controlled. Like it wasn't human. Ethan backed into his apartment, closing the door quickly. His hands were shaking now. What is happening? Then a sound. A single tick. Behind him. Ethan froze. Slowly he turned. The clock on his wall. Still at 10:10. But the second hand moved. One click forward. Then stopped again. Tick. Silence. Tick. Silence. Something was trying to restart. But it couldn't. Or it wasn't allowed to. Ethan stepped closer to the clock. His reflection faintly visible in the glass. But his reflection wasn't still. It was moving. Breathing. Watching him. Ethan stepped back. The reflection didn't. It leaned closer to the glass. Eyes wide. Focused. Then, it spoke. Without sound. "You're not supposed to be moving." Ethan's chest tightened. I don't understand." The reflection smiled slowly. "You weren't paused correctly." The lights flickered once. The air shifted. And suddenly, everything outside the window moved again. Cars continued. People walked. Time resumed. Normal. Except for one thing. Ethan looked back at the clock. 10:11 p.m. Time had moved on. But in the reflection, he wasn't there anymore. The room was empty. And behind him, something else stood. Perfectly still. Waiting for the next time the clocks would stop again.